This is one of the original Spartan trees that was planted for trial purposes.
James Hanna's family has been growing apples in Salmon Arm for over a century. He runs this apple farm with his wife, Harriet.
My husband and I, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law have been farming this land since about 1980.
Hanna and Hanna is the oldest apple orchard in the area, and they've seen their fair share of ups and downs. Apple growing was once one of Salmon Arm's leading industries until the winter of 1949 when a major cold spell hit, severely damaging many of the trees.
A lot of the downtown that is developed, that what you would constitute as the downtown core, used to be apple orchards. So it extended right down to the lake and the foreshores there, which now sits, a hotel and a wharf and a nature trail. So a lot of that was all apple orchards, and you can see that from historical photos.
Many growers chose not to replant, but those who did, like the Hannas, endured tough times as they waited for the young trees to mature. Eventually, the trees thrived and the long wait paid off.
Fruit growing hasn't always been a particularly lucrative occupation, so we have to keep reinventing ourselves.
It's one of the reasons they'll be taking part in Salmon Arm's second annual AppleFest.
It's basically a celebration of apples. It's a celebration of our history of farming here in the area, and just a great way to introduce, all the varietals of apples that we have that's, possibly a lot of people don't know about.
Growers like the Hannas are excited to share what Salmon Arm apples have to offer.
Our climate here is special. And one thing about the apples that we grow is that we grow them without irrigation. And what that does is it actually gives you an apple that has a flavor that's more pronounced because there's not as much water in the fruit. Salmon Arm was known in the early part of the last century in Great Britain for winning all kinds of prizes for their world-famous non-irrigated apples.
Pedro Gonzalez, another local apple grower, will also be at the free event, which takes place on October 1st.
It is a great way for people to get educated on what comes from Salmon Arm. People, I think, will be really, excited to come and just participate in a really cool event.